Hi guys, I'm Captain Ez, and welcome back to the Tic Tac Toe board. So obviously this isn't surviving with redstone, but as I said before, I'll do a tutorial on how I built this. Now this isn't going to be a block for block because it is just so big. I know I love doing block for block, so you guys really understand how I do it, but this one is going to be a bit hard to do, so I will give you guys a world schematic, and a schematic, so you can use this one in your world and have a look at it and tear it apart yourself. So anyway, without any further more ado, let's get started with this all. So, I did build, as I said in the last tutorial, last video, I built this because of a challenge that was made to me by a subscriber called Markia. I'm sorry if I say that wrong again, I really don't know. Basically, so I've decided to make a new series. This will go alongside with Surviving with Redstone, which will be Challenge Me. So basically, you guys throw it in a comment or in an inbox message to me, basically a challenge to build something redstonified, and I'll have a week to build it. Now, obviously, I can't build computers or things like that, but, you know, I'll give it a fair shot, and if I can do it, I will try to do it. Anyway, so let's get explaining how this all works. So, there's a few mechanics which I was really quite proud of. I kind of set myself some few rules. I said that I couldn't go to an outside source for any information on any of this build, so I had to design and build everything part of it just from my knowledge. So the first bit we're going to look at is the button selectors down in here. So each one of these is hooked up, if we just tear under here, into two bits. This line here, and also this line here. So first of all, we're going to look at the line here. Now, when this piston's risen, so this light will come on as well, which tells you it's your turn. So basically, when you can actually press this button, a signal will travel this up in an instant wire form, using the redstone glitch, up along this line, and into this giant tower of mess. Now these are all exactly the same, so every one of these is just another copy of the one before it. So basically what happens is it goes into the system, and this system basically locks out the other player from already choosing that button. So as you can see here, they're both the same one coming in, this line here, and what happens is this little bit here is a RS NOR latch, which will basically just lock the signal on and then power through, as you can see here. Now, if this person presses first, as you can see, that piston retracts. Now I realize my sound is off, let me just turn it back on. There we go. So, as you can see, this piston retracted and keeps a constant flow of energy going through. Now, this will be locked on until the reset, all the way down below here, is turned on, which is agreed on by both players. Now, if I just reset manually here, we'll go all the way up to the top. As you can see, this block is back in. So if we press the button on this side, for instance, now we're just going to watch this other piston there. When he presses it, sorry, that's the wrong line. Got to power this line here. If we press the button here, that pulls out and stays on, stays depowered, and this one runs through. Now this system is pretty basic. Basically, what happens is that the power is locked on, going through this block here, indefinitely holding this piston back, or this one in this case, as you can see, the power going through here. Holding this one off and always powering through. Pretty simple. So what happens from there is this line goes all the way down this tower to the bottom. Now this here is a matrix. So as you can see here, it's got all this matrix. Now it separates in two lines again. So it goes into this matrix, but it also goes up along this line here, into this mess of cabling here, into this NOT gate, up this instant wire, and turns on this display. So what happens is, basically when player selects it, it's locked on and powers that display there. And also this matrix. Now, what happens is that this is kind of an interesting system that there's lots of stuff on. I'll probably do a tutorial just on this system by itself. But basically what happens is that each one of these lines here, so each one of this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, they're all the combinations that you can have for Tic Tac Toe. So basically, once one of these lines is fully off, so the combination of, if we have a look here, this combination, for instance, this one here, as soon as this line is fully powered off, or one of these lines is, one of these torches will turn on, powering it on, turning on the win light sequence, which means the player won. So pretty basic. So each of them is just quite literally another slice of the same thing again. So another one of these locking circuits, going down into this tower, going along to its display. So if we run along here, you can follow it, this one here, a little bit more advanced and goes in and into this display. And also goes into the matrix as well, which is along here. So it's pretty basic, that bit at least. So the displaying and the choosing who won, pretty easy to understand. Now obviously, we can rip this apart if you want to have it play with it yourself, so you can understand exactly how it works, but it's pretty simple. It's just quite literally one system copied over and over and over and over again, basically. So obviously, one per each side. Now as you can see over in, we'll go to the display next. This display unit over here, each square has two lines going into it. As you can see, this line is for the X, so this line here is the X, and this line here is the Y. So the 0, so X and Y's coordinates. So all these ones here are zeros, these ones are X's. These ones are X's, zeros, X's, zeros. So basically, they all have to kind of combine in this huge and massive cable in here to make it work. But pretty simple. So now, if you don't understand, I was just trying to work out what I was going to say next. If you don't understand how this works here, basically, when the power goes into this redstone lamp here, if we can just knock out the power, it will power this block indirectly and power the adjacent ones around it. So let's just fix it up. Same thing with the other ones as well. Pretty basic, pretty simple. So now the next part, the turn indicator, which doesn't allow you to actually select anything when it's not your turn. So doesn't matter how much you click. As you can see, these pistons are down. They can't put anything on the board. So how does that work? Well, that uses actually a really interesting system down below, right in the center, which is basically a T flip-flop with a locking mechanism. So I'm just going to get to it in the mess of cables. Here we go. This is the T flip-flop mechanism here. So if we kind of cut it back down a bit, and I'm scared I'm going to break something, but I'm going to try it anyway. If we break it down, the T flip-flop is basically just this, not including this as well, just this little system right here. So basically every time this gets powered, these flip. Simple as. So what we're going to do is we're going to put all the cabling back so we can understand how it all works. Oop, that's going to break it. That's not right. Alright, there we go. So basically, we just need to put the piston back in here. 1 second. Got to put it there. Actually, no, not there. One up. Block there. Piston there. And piston here. There. Alrighty, and just put a block on top. So, basically, every time we want one of these, so every time someone has a turn, it's very basic. We have all the second line that I mentioned before. It runs along, goes across here, as you can see, and powers through, which does the same thing as this button on the front here. It flicks these T flip-flop. So if it's the player's turn, they can do it, but if it's not their turn, then it'll do nothing. So what will happen is that the power will go through, T flip-flop, causing this one of these lines to power on. So if it's their player turn, the power will go through, as you can see, coming up and flicking all of these pistons on. Now that's when, in the last video, you heard the pistons firing one after the other. That's enabling all the buttons to actually be able to be pressed. So as you can see, there's a button behind each of these blocks, which runs along to its respective tower. So basically, comes along and powers them all. And once you press the button, it will flick. So if we press this button up in here, for instance, we can get it in time. Let's break that for now. As you can see, that flicks. Power comes along this line and turns all these pistons on, allowing this person to have their turn. Now, as well as it powering all these pistons, it comes along, turns up this little tower here, and gives it a little bit of an indicator. So really, it's that basic. It does look a bit complicated, but truly, it's just a mess. But really, all it is one system here repeated 9 times. Then this system over here for displaying repeated well, 9 times, and a bunch of cabling connecting it all, and a simple matrix down below, deciding if you've won. Pretty basic. Now, if you guys want me to do a more specific tutorial on any one of these parts, so like the locking circuit which I designed, or the T flip-flop turn baser, which is down, yeah, I'm giving them weird names as I go along, the T flip-flop turn baser, or the display mechanism, if you want, or even the matrix, please just give us a comment down below, or a message in my inbox, and I'll definitely go into a flat world and kind of explain how it all works. So I'll be happy to help you guys understand how it all, because that's what I love doing. I love doing tutorials, so please give me a challenge to do in a week. Obviously, don't make it too crazy, because I just can't do it. But please give me a challenge, or give me a request for something that you want me to explain about this build. And anyway, I think that's about it. So until next time, I'm Captain Ez, and have a nice night.